Welcome to Anything But 9 to 5. I'm Kevin Crowley and I'm with Peter Oakden, and he is the founder of Cave Fit. Pete, would you like to kind of tell us a bit about Cave Fit?
So, as a brief introduction, we are a high-intensity strength training gym facility. Well, not only facility now, I guess. Now we're over 2 locations, we're multiple locations, so we offer pay-to-train services as well as gym memberships, and we have roughly, well, I'd say around 100 plus people at our first location as members, and we've got people that are paid to train on top of that. And then we've just recently opened over the last 2 months our second location, which is just lifting off. So we're putting a lot of time and energy into that place at the moment. So which is where we're actually currently sat. Yeah, I guess as a more of a backstory introduction, we opened down at K-Fit Waterfront in March 2015. Wow. If I remember correctly. But I actually started training as a coach in there in maybe the November, just before it, in December, just before that. It's been, 4.5, 5 years or something like that we've been in business. So over those 4 or 5 years, we've managed to grow into 2 locations, so it's pretty amazing.
For a gym starting up, that's quite impressive, because usually you find that within the first year or 2, that's the kind of tough thing, just to kind of maintain a business, let alone...
I guess it's hard work meets luck, like with anything, isn't
it? There's got to be a bit of drive behind that as well, you know. So obviously you've shown me around, and obviously if you can hear from the fantastic echo, it really kind of adds into the cave kind of ambience. It's a really well set up place. We're currently in the high intensity room.
Well, we call this the HIT zone.
The HIT zone.
But it was actually built in between 1930 and 1942, 1943. So this is where we're sat now, is where all the millions and millions of pounds were kept.
That's where you'll be making all your millions and millions of pounds with all your recruits. So, Peter, one of the things I wanted to ask you was, obviously, what was your background before obviously going into the personal training and things like that?
So I spent a short time in the military, just under a decade or so. Wow. I left.
Would you describe that as short?
Yeah. Well, I think when I look at some of my mates, it's a short time. Yeah. I definitely view it as a short time because I see how much some people do in the military. Yeah. 20, 30 years, which is pretty unbelievable, really, because I know how challenging it can be, like personally, and you've got to be a father or a family member as well. Putting the job aside is amazing job, but it can be full of adversity as well. But you've got to be a dad sometimes, and a brother, and a good mate sometimes. So in regards to that, I class it as a short time, but when I do mention it being just in a decade, people are like, wow, it's amazing, that's a long time. But I think it was a period in my life where things were moving really quick. I was young. I left school at 16 and joined straight away, so I literally downed my pencil. I went to a place called Cheadle High School, which is in Staffordshire, in Stoke-on-Trent, and there wasn't, even still now, I very rarely go back. My sister actually still lives there. She's the only one out of the family that's still in that area, but I downed my pencil and pencil sharpener and picked up a rifle when I was like 16, 17.
Wow.
So yeah.
So do you think that's kind of going into the military? Do you think that's kind of helped you be the kind of person you are today in terms of your drives? And
yeah, I think more so from, again, I'll mention that word adversity again. I just think that you the things that you go through in the military, you know, where some people call it darkness or you know, grit or, you know, adversity. I'll use that word again. Anything that's kind of arduous. I think I think people that have to kind of go through that and push through those times come out a more solid person who've got a mindset that can push through a little bit more than others. I think that people that don't go through adversity and a little bit of darkness, even, you know, whether it's a bereavement in a family or, you know, getting sacked from a job or whatever it might be, or, you know, everybody, I think people who've suffered in some kind of way to quite an extreme point always go on to do amazing things, you know.
It reminds me of you've probably heard of him, the kind of Navy SEAL Jocko Willink.
Yeah, I love Jocko.
Yeah. He has a 2-minute video and it's called Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that just, I was getting lots
well,
and lots of shades.
You know my
of that.
girlfriend Vicky, and she's. I'll tell you a quick funny story, but you'll probably know that he does these like 30-second or 2-minute snips of, you know, go to the gym and all that kind of shit.
Get started.
And so me and my mate went through this phase of setting our alarms with that.
You must have been very popular.
Oh, honestly, I've never seen anyone shoot out of bed so fast. So, but yeah, I love Jocko Willink, and that pretty much nails it. You know, that bad thing happened, good. You know,
from
let's
when
get
things
on
are
with
going bad, there's always got to be some good that comes from it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, one of the Marines' commando qualities is cheerfulness in the face of adversity, and it's something that, although, you know, that's one of the commando qualities, and it'll never leave me.
I can tell it's very much ingrained. As I'm watching you, I can kind of, you're really kind of, whenever you see adversity, you've got you almost adopt a kind of a stance, if you will, when you're talking about it. So I can definitely tell it's kind of very much resonated, and obviously that sounds like kind of the lessons that the Marines pushed.
Yeah, you just know, you know, a lot of people go through life not understanding how far you can actually push your body or your mind. So when you've been through certain times with people or by yourself, and you find out who you really are, you know, not getting much sleep or staying up late at night to do a little bit of extra work on a couch isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I wish I would adopt that myself. But
there's always time.
Yeah, always. So that's really interesting. Obviously, that it's kind of giving you that, you know, insight, and obviously the adversities you were talking about.
Yeah.
So what made you kind of choose to go into the kind of health kind of profession, and obviously personal training and things like? What was your kind of vision behind that?
It wasn't so much for me being an absolute like fitness geek and knowing and understand the body to, you know, all the
ins and outs and intricacies of it.
Exactly. It wasn't that. It was more along the lines of, okay, I've played football since I was 8. I've always played rugby. I did athletics. I love sport. I love moving. I love being part of a team. During the military, it was exactly the same. Yeah. And then when I left, it felt like I had to do the same. It just seemed like I needed to stay around sport and fitness and be around people that were like-minded, rather than it being, I want to be a master programmer of strength training.
Got you.
You know, so I think that was more the route and the kind of mindset that I had when I left. And to be honest, I just thought it'd be easy. I didn't think it.
Were you the kind of guy that picked gym in school because you thought it was an easy?
It's like, I'm good at it, so you know, why not? And I guess there's a kind of little bit of that in it, which I guess, you know, is funny to think about now, but definitely, it definitely had a little bit of that in there as well, you know.
So it was kind of, in a way, you kind of discovered you discovered your calling through the path of least resistance.
Yeah, exactly. I've been through enough.
Yeah.
Even in the military, it's kind of like, oh man, I've done all this over the past year. I just want to not take it easy, but just there must be something that is a little bit of less hardcore than this.
So how long did it take for you to kind of become a personal trainer and go through all that?
So to be honest, when I left the military, there must have been a year to an 18-month period where I really struggled. I was completely institutionalized in the Corps, and you have this mindset of being the best. I hadn't touched Civvy Street. I'd left school, and that was me.
So it was almost an alien kind of
concept. Yeah, I really struggled. I was chatting to someone about it the other day, even in the workplace. The Marines is male. There's no females. You get into the workplace, there's females in there, and you're a kind of, I guess, you don't have I didn't have the right levels of respect for people. I just thought I was better than everyone else. I've just been to Afghan, mate, fighting these guys, and now you're telling me to go and sweep that up.
That's your first world problems.
Absolutely. Yeah. And looking back at it now, it was completely wrong. But I did suffer with that. And it took me about a year and a half to shake it off. And the day that I shook it off was the day that I actually went back to the careers office and sat down and said, look, I remember that it was the chief petty officer who was actually in the Navy that joined me up years previously. And I sat down with him and said, look, I'm really struggling. I can't settle into being a civvy. I can't do this. I need to rejoin. And as soon as I walked out of the careers office that day, I got my shit together, and can I swear?
Yeah.
I got my shit together.
We put my co-host Emily was very kind of far thinking. I thought, someone will do it, so we just put the explicit rating on anyway.
Good
so
work.
Go nuts. If it's more natural for you, just go right ahead.
Yeah, cool. As soon as I walked out the door that day, I was like, I can't go back. More for my mindset is forward, and that's just a word that I use all the time. And don't go back, just keep moving forward. If you make a mistake, just keep going forward. Just learn by it, and just keep carrying on.
Don't let it kind of keep
I left for a reason.
Yeah.
I left the military for a reason. So don't go back, keep moving forward. And then from there, I think I was completely on my arse. I didn't have any money. I probably used all the money I had done having a bit of a drink and partying too much. And then I borrowed, I think, 400 or 500 quid off my mum, maybe. I can't remember exactly who I borrowed it off. And then did my level 2 at the time, which is a fitness instructor. And then I joined David Lloyd's as a fitness instructor. And I did a deal with my boss at the time, and I made a deal with her, and I said to her, if I do a really good job of being a level 2, you need to pay for my level 3. And I managed to do that in 12 months because I did a good job, and then she paid for it, so that saved me about $2,500. And then from being a PT, I moved up to being, they call it a lead coach in David Lloyd's, so effectively a gym manager. That was 2 years later, so effectively I went from a level 2 to a gym manager in 4 years. So, and then when I got to being a gym manager, I looked at all the managers in food and beverage and operations, and I was like, and to become a general manager, you need to go into all these and experience these different roles. And I was like, nah,
none of that leadership nonsense for me.
Yeah, I've put all of it. And that's what spurred me on to create K-Fit.
Yeah, did you just have was it your kind of vision, your concept? You thought, I know, I've seen how this works. I think I can do something that's a bit more for me and more bespoke, or was it more kind of just the? It
was a mixture of things. It was a mixture of bad things that happened and good things that happened. Like I mentioned earlier, I just think when amazing things happen, I think it's a mixture of good things and bad things that just hit each other.
Forge the person that you are.
100%. I was in Edinburgh. I was coaching. I was actually a gym manager at David Lloyd's, and I started having this idea of K-Fit. And there was a gym, I'm not going to name the gym, but there's a gym back home that was doing a similar type of training, not something that I wanted to do, but it was similar. So I used to travel back, get ideas, take the good bits, strip away the bad bits, come up with my own kind of ideas of
the Peter Oakden method.
Exactly. You know, who am I? Kind of. I guess these days I didn't really have a mentor, but I had people that I looked up to online, and I liked what they did. Take the good bits, and then these ideas just start swelling, and then come up with a name.
Yeah.
And
so
then,
that was definitely one of the questions was K-Fit. Where did we kind of come up with a name?
Fit is obviously fitness.
Yeah.
And then cave was a mixture of the Paleolithic caveman, and when I found the unit that we wanted to move into, it was like a cave.
Yeah.
So I was like, again, Paleolithic hunter-gatherer, what these guys are running, pulling, dragging, hitting, lifting, all the things that we should be doing as human beings and that we're designed to do. And we're in this place that looks like a cave, so that was kind of it.
There is something to it. We're currently in the Grand, the Grand K-Fit gym, and
which looks completely different than the waterfront one, by the way.
I suppose it's its own kind of unique style. But one of the things Peter showed me, and I absolutely fallen in love with just the very idea of it, is the bank vault door next door. There's a big old school bank vault door that you see in the heist movies, and it just looks.
You can actually just push it with one finger.
So it's that secure.
Yeah. But I don't know. It must be tons, right?
Yeah. But I've got to snap a photo of you in front of that before we go. That's But yeah, it's what for you. Obviously, I wouldn't say any of your kind of your professional careers covered any sort of kind of standard 9 to 5 template.
No,
really. But what is it about yourself in K-Fit that just blows away 9 to 5 kind of jobs in your opinion?
I mean, people from the outside look in and they'll see, I think some people get mixed views of what we do, and I know that people's views change as well when people start seeing people do well. But there's a lot of hard work and grit that has to go into creating something and bringing people together, keeping people together, allowing people to grow, allowing yourself to grow, remaining happy.
It sounds like you're talking about stuff that isn't on Instagram. I'm shocked.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and it's funny you should say that, because I've actually took it off my phone and everything.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I'm trying. Here's a question then. Instagram's not going to be in about 5 or 10 years, right? What do you think is going to be next?
That's a really difficult one, because social media kind of tends to change.
News that quick.
Yeah. TikTok is making some waves.
Right.
A lot of kind of.
I've not heard of that.
It's used by a lot of kids at the moment.
Yeah.
And they'll lip sync to certain music videos and certain kind of skits and things like that. But I'm noticing now that there's a few kind of entrepreneurs that I follow.
Really?
Gary V. Tends to kind of go on it as well, and he's quite upfront with his kind of social media marketing and things like that. So he's a big advocate of that as well.
I'll check it out. You're the first person that's given me an answer.
I
always ask that question because I want to know what's coming next.
It's a difficult one. It is a difficult one to kind of say, because they are obviously it's like a constant cold war between all. It's
going to implode, isn't it? It's so intense.
I think the problem with most social media now is that they think a lot of things have formed into echo chambers for certain groups. Whether they're right groups or wrong groups, there's echo chambers there. Yeah. Not like the echo in here. But people only want to hear what people who agree with them.
Yeah.
And I think then that tends to kind of stifle new ideas, new concepts, and new things like that. So that's why, until social media undergoes a bit of a change, I think things will get worse before they get better.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what kind of happens with that. As to what social media will thrive and what ones will die off.
I can see how important it is, especially to have contact with people. But what I've tried to do is set it up. From a business point of view, you need it. So I've tried to set it up in a way that, we've got a great lad called Rory who does all our marketing, and then Katie as well, and who does all our services. And then between those two, he's uploading the content, she's making sure that she answers the messages, so Pete now doesn't have to go on Instagram.
Pete is very happy with it.
Do you know what? Like, I love it.
Peter right now has the grin on his face of not having to be on social media. That is almost as big as this gym floor.
That's been my goal for so long, and I've got it because I didn't use all these things. I didn't use these platforms before I had a business. Yeah. But when we created the business, it's like people were like, "You need it, mate. You need to get on there." So okay, I'll get on it.
One of the things that I've had a look at K-Fit, and one of the kind of videos I really actually like, and it was your girlfriend that put it on to me, was the mannequin challenge.
Oh right, yeah.
The level of concentration some of the guys had.
Did you see the guy at the end that was really struggling?
Yeah, and it just
holding
that way,
shaking.
There was nothing but admiration for that guy from me, because I was like, I know how heavy
I remember that.
Is.
The thing is, we did it at the end of a workout and everyone was completely smashed.
Was that your idea?
Yeah,
that was cruel.
But yeah, geez, when was that, man? That was like 3 years ago, something. But yeah.
But it's still out of all the kind of mannequin challenges, that one, I think it was for that guy at the end just struggling.
No, I must have watched it like 20 times just to see him shaking,
If you had some sort of kind of telescreen, you could.
I don't know if the sound on it with the one that we uploaded, but in the original video, it pans past him, and then all you can hear is him dropping the weight. It's just like smashing off the ground.
So that's quite interesting. Obviously, that K-Fit's not your standard 9 to 5, and you recognise obviously that social media isn't for you, but there is a necessity for it.
I didn't really get to the answer to that question, did I? I think I was going down the route of I feel I wake up every day. I know that a lot of people these days don't like getting up and going to work, and it's a massive thing. And I'm really, really lucky to be in the position where, honestly, every single day I'm excited to get up. And I get up early, and I love getting up between 5 and 6 and eat and just having my workout at 6:30 in the morning with an amazing bunch of people. I only live 2 minutes away from the other gym, so I just literally like roll out of bed, put my socks on, and get
hopefully
down
more
there.
Than that, but
yeah. But it's come at a cost. I've had to go through a lot over the last 4 or 5 years to get where this needs to be, and some people drop off on the way, and you lose mates. You don't keep in contact with them as much, or family and friends and stuff. But the end goal for me, out of it all, is for it all to come back round again. And when I'm 55, just down tools.
With the gym empire.
Absolutely. Down tools. You've set loads of people up with jobs that they love doing. You've helped a lot of people become fitter mentally, physically, by being members at your gyms. And then when I get to that age, 55, 60, I've got this vision of travelling the world. Like with Vic or with Mila, and just seeing amazing things. And I know a lot of people do it in that gap between like leaving uni and doing a real job or whatever. But I just think I'd really appreciate it at that age, because I could take my time. And hopefully all the hard work that I've put in, I can do it then. That's
I tend to find in all the kind of people's stories that I've kind of read or looked at, that's that seems to be the kind of formula that seems to work.
Yeah.
You know, so it sounds like you're on the right path anyway, which is great. I mean, it's obviously you were kind of talking that we were talking about kind of setting up your gym empire.
Do you know what? You never start it with. I know people say that a lot, but you never start out like that, mate. It's like I started out in a warehouse with me coaching me and you, and then me and you turned to me, you, and your mate, and then
just exploded.
3 versus 1, 4 on 1, 5 on 1, 6 on 1, 7 on 1, and now you've got 400 people a week coming through down at, a month. Yeah, sorry, a week coming down at the waterfront. So that, you know, you don't start out thinking. I think, as you know, mate, you don't start doing anything but a 9 to 5 with the idea that I want to make $1 million, because highly likely you won't. If you do it from a huge why and reason, and you're getting up every day for that reason, there's more likely the chance you're going to get there. You know?
I mean, me and Emily, we kind of, well, me and her we just wanted to find out people's stories. I think it was, you can read about so many people kind of doing things that are unconventional and entrepreneurs and things like that. But until you actually speak to someone face to face, I think you get a lot more information from them personally talking about their stories. And I always wanted to kind of find out what is out there, because I've always done. Obviously, I work in IT, so it's office related all the time. So it's always really a 9 to 5 job. But I was always very curious as to those people who go out there and do that. I mean, my wife has went off and she's now an eBay reseller, so she does anything but that 9 to 5 job.
Amazing.
So, but she's there for Cam, she's at home, so she's able to run her business and do all those things. So it's kind of, I think it's just like you said, it's pursuing your kind of passion and what makes you happy.
It always starts like that.
You know,
I love it.
The fact that it's always really great to hear from people that jump out of bed ready to start the day and ready to start their work, you know, or their, you know, it almost sounds like you've turned your hobby into your job.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, which is that's the kind of
But
thing.
it does evolve, doesn't it, over time? Because now it's like I'm getting out of bed for my daughter or my partner or you know, the 10 people that work for me.
Does Mila have a gym membership already?
Not yet. She's got a really good squat pattern though. She's got a good squat going on at the minute. I can see that she's got a good technique already. So, but yeah, I think we're gonna try and get into gymnastics first. I think you can start that at like 3 or something.
Yeah,
early.
My daughter's in doing gymnastics.
Amazing.
So
yeah, how old is she?
She's 10 now.
Is she?
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because at that age, the flexibility, the mobility, it can go any direction.
She puts me to shame.
It's the bad habits you pick up over time, isn't it, right?
At 37, I didn't realise how kind of like absolutely stiff as a board arm. You know.
You need a K-Fit session, mate. That's what you need.
We may sort that out after this podcast, especially since what I've seen. So obviously we've touched on what drives you and what you do, and obviously, what are the parts of the job that you love? Is it when you kind of get a client and you see them make a complete leap or push themselves beyond what they thought was possible? Is it things like that, or?
I buzz the most off. As I mentioned earlier, I get up in the morning and I train at 6:30 at Waterfront, and I just buzz off people coming in at that time and knowing how they feel at the end of that, and then taking it into the rest of the day, because I know how I feel after that.
Just gets the kind of the adrenaline.
You can't actually get a better start to your day, and it's 7:15 in the morning, and you just completely set yourself up for an amazing day. No matter how tough it'll get or what might get in your way, you've accomplished something, and you've got that for the rest of your day, no matter what. And you multiply that like week, year on year.
So it's just
it's powerful stuff, and you're changing these guys' mental states as well. You're making them tougher. That's what I know. I could talk about so many different things from a business. You know, even setting up this place here, the sit downs that I'm having with designers, and the sit downs that I have with you know, people that are in the financial kind of sector and area, the things that I'm learning and from a business point of view is amazing, but I just love being...
It's the core of what, core of what
love being up in the dark and wet in the morning and being surrounded by people just getting after it.
Yeah.
You know, I love that.
That's great. So, you strike me as somebody that's just constantly on the go. Am I not far off the mark?
Yeah, I probably piss Vic off a lot because I'm constantly on my laptop.
Yeah.
I should not. I'm getting better. Mm-hmm. I'm getting a lot better at it. But yeah, you're right.
Obviously, when Peter wants to have down tools time, relax time, what is it you do? What is it you do to kind of relax and unwind after a day's work? It's
a good question for me right now, because it's productivity is something that I'm trying to become better at, because I know how important it is to be successful, especially now I'm owning two businesses. Mm-hmm. So every Thursday, I'll down tools, no laptops, no phones, and me and my daughter will have the whole day together.
Nice.
So I'll take her some, like for example, last Thursday we went to North Berwick. We'll go down to Gullin or up to St Andrews, or you know, we'll just take a little drive and get out of there. As you know, having a 18-month-old takes your mind off a lot of stuff.
Because yeah.
So that's one of the things I'm trying to do, and I love it as well because it's making me spend more time with her.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a kind of rare thing, is that daddy-daughter time. You know, being able to, it's great that you've worked hard enough to kind of get to that stage where you can say,
well, I can do it.
This is my time with.
Yeah, because I could easily say, like, I'm going to go and do more here.
Yeah, I could just keep
easily do
pushing
that.
away. But I think personally, if I had that opportunity, I grab any daddy-daughter days I can.
Yeah.
But if I had a single day with her, obviously until she goes to primary school in your case, I'd grab it. So it's great to hear.
Yeah, because it's not going to be forever. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? They are soon going to be 18 and off they go.
Mine's is 10 going on like.
That's what I mean. 20. It's just around the corner for you, mate.
Yeah.
Get the violin out.
She would probably just kind of say, Dad, you know, man up.
Yeah, come on.
You know, she's a fiery redhead.
Is she?
Yeah,
brilliant.
Just like her mum. Sorry, Kate. So, what you've obviously you've got the two gyms, which is a goal in itself. You know, you must be really kind of happy with what you've kind of achieved so far, and obviously moving forward with that. What would your advice be to somebody that's either want to kind of go into the kind of health kind of career path or personal training or anything like that? What would your advice be them, having been through all the kind of personal training stuff, going to the kind of gym manager thing like that, and then obviously then kind of coming up with your concept here?
I think it's good. It's a good question, because I actually sat down with someone this morning at 9 o'clock who wanted advice, because they were literally at that point. And I've sat down with multiple people at that point. Yeah. And within 2 minutes, I know whether they really want this, or whether they think they want it, and they think it's, you know what I mean?
It's
I can just feel it, mate. And the answers and the energy and the vibe that I get off them, and what the story is and why they want it, I can just tell straight away. But I'd just say that, again, hard times meet good luck, bit of hard work in that mix as well. Yeah. And it just comes together and it's right, you know. Sometimes we get things wrong, but you should always trust your gut. And if things don't feel right, and things don't feel right in the gut, don't go there, and it's not for you. Because it's right, and you should always trust that. Because even now, you know, I'm still making these mistakes. And a couple of weeks ago, you know, hiring someone we shouldn't have, and I went, you're going back and thinking, fucking hell, I knew it when I sat down. I should. So, yeah, trust your gut. Hard work meets a little bit of luck, and your history should have all the right prerequisites to go on and do or go in the line that you want. I think it just happens naturally, right?
I think you can usually your instinct for people, especially if you've obviously, you could probably take that back to your forces time as well. When you're judging people, you're judging your team and things like. You can just get a vibe out. This guy's good for this. This op. I'm just as a pure civvy, I'm just guessing.
Yeah,
but
it's quite hard coming. I class myself as a civvy now more than a military guy, you know. But you do learn a lot about people, and when you're under pressure in the military, and everybody's got these certain attributes or qualities, and you can see that. No one's perfect, but I've learned that if someone has a really good attitude and you can feel that off them, you can help them become this better fitness expert or whatever, and bring in the qualities over time.
Find out what drives them, and then
totally.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things when I looked at the Cave Fit website. Great website, by the way.
I'll let Arnie know. His name's Arnie, but it's not the Arnie that you think.
Mine's any kind of website I've done has fallen into amateur level now that I've seen this, but I can see the wealth of trainers you've got there. You know, you've got your male trainers, you've got female trainers and stuff, and they all look really, really good. They all
professional.
They have a look about them. It just kind of, I think as well. When I was looking at them, I would say, I'm sure that guy would be a great trainer for me. You know, you can almost get that. Yeah. So either the full capture's been absolutely fantastic to capture that, you know, or that's just the vibe they give off. So I can kind of see where they're coming from that.
I think we again, going back to the whole social media thing, we're living in an era where people put themselves out to the public now in a way that they want to be perceived, if you get what I mean.
It's always it's an
but they're not actually like that in real life. And we're getting missold sometimes, and people are falling for this quite a lot. So a big thing for me, it's something that me and my head coach Jack, we speak about it a lot, and we just want to make sure that you talk the talk and you walk the walk. Everything that we say and we carry through with it. So whether that's an image or something that you're saying online,
be genuine.
Yeah, absolutely. No bullshit. Like don't smoke screen people. And if you're saying something online, or if you're having a picture online that looks a certain way, then when people meet you, you should be that.
Yeah.
So you need to be smart. You need to be presentable. You need to be polite, because I think that's a massive thing. And again, you can take that back to the military as well. You know, being punctual, being smart, being prepared. All these qualities are just military through and through. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite funny you kind of mentioned be who you are online, because as I walked into the gym, I seen just the back of your head and I went, that's Peter.
Yeah, haircut.
It was just immediately, I was like, that's Peter.
Yeah, because I love the Jocko one as well, mate, and it's like, what does it say, hair's just for show, because you don't need hair, shave it off.
Decoration.
I love it, it's decoration. But again, have a haircut, how do you feel when you had a haircut? Smart. What happens when you feel smart? You feel confident. If you're confident, what happens when you feel confident? You go out there and you get after it. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, when I used to do a kind of fitness class, and it was with an ex-forces guy, and there was always a stance he adopted, and I found myself eventually after many a week doing the same. But as we started following the same stance without prompting by him, and then by the end of it going, right.
Do you know what? One of the things I've noticed is when I was in the military, I used to walk with my chin up and my chest out all the time, and I've slowly started not doing it.
Started hunching.
Honestly, like over time, I've started to look down more when I walk, and I notice it more. So I'm trying to be like.
We used to have a thing. If you put your hands on your hips, or you put your hands in your pockets, or anything like, you had to. There was you had to do 10 burpees or 10.
Do you know one thing? I love all that. One thing I've got a fucking weird head. Like one thing is I don't like people seeing me yawn.
Yeah.
Because it basically means that I feel weak.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if he sees me yawn, then he's
Then
gonna think I'm weak, and then
Then he'll yawn.
he can have me and have me for lunch or whatever. But yeah, there's loads of little things like that go through my weird head.
Yeah. So what would you say? Like, obviously, some Joe Blogs off the street walks in, and says, "I want to get fit." What's the first thing you would do with them?
Give him a haircut. Do you know what we have at K-Fit? We have a really thorough introduction process, and because we like K-Fit is for everyone. I know it carries this persona of it being hardcore. It can be hardcore if you want it to be, but it also can be a really amazing foundation for you meeting some amazing people and progressing into being a really fit and healthy person. But the whole introduction is, we want to meet you, we want to shake your hand, we want to say hello, we want you to welcome you in, we want to find out where you've been, what your history is. Do you know anybody that's in K-Fit already? Okay, you don't, so you need more support from us. Every time you come for a class, we'll speak to you a little bit more to make sure you feel more settled. So for me, it's the intro, it's the induction, it's that first half an hour.
Personal touch.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not a commercial gym where it's like, right, you remember, off you go.
Here's your induction.
Yeah, because that's only got a shelf life to it, and only a certain amount of people want it for that, which is great. But I always want more than that. I want people to be healthier and happier mentally, as well as physically, you know.
Yeah. So in terms of what would you do? Say somebody was quite shy, but they're pushing themselves over the threshold. I take it you would kind of calibrate yourself to.
Yeah. So over time, I've learned to be a chameleon, and it's something that I learned ages ago off a coach. 10, 12 years ago or whatever, but to be a chameleon, so within the first couple of minutes, you can start feeling what that guy or girl's character is, and you need to start moulding to that. So if they do feel introvert and they're quiet, then be introvert and quiet and give them minimal back
until they're ready to come.
Until they're ready to come forward.
Yeah.
If they come in clapping, screaming, shouting, and they're 10 minutes early, then you need to step up a little bit. And
sounds like you would need a few Red Bulls to kind of get
exactly.
to that level.
So and that's, I think it's a really important part of being a coach.
Matching that.
You need to match that. I call it being a chameleon. So you're constantly changing all day. And we used to think of it when you used to have 20 clients. You're gonna have 20 different characters. So every time you're with an hour with that person, you might have 2 till 3 with an introvert, and then 3 till 4 with a nutcase. So you need to make sure that you're doing that all day. And that's the energy sapper of being a coach.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly doing that.
Because you're having to change and calibrate.
Yeah. So there's a lot more to it than you think.
If I get to that level, I would just hide in the server room for a while until I'm ready to kind of get the energy levels back. That's fantastic. I mean,
have we got through them all?
What I would say, one of the things that I'm going to start asking all the kind of guests I have is, obviously, have you listened to any of the episodes?
I haven't. I wanted to go back and have a good listen.
Yeah.
But I've not managed to catch any yet.
But what would you?
I've been getting stuck into Joe Rogan.
I'm always going to compete with Joe Rogan.
That's a bit of a pedestal there to get up to.
The Everest, but we'll work up towards it. Every journey begins in one step, I suppose.
Exactly.
But what would you be kind of looking for? Obviously, I've given you kind of an idea of the concept in 95, but what would you be looking for when you're listening to the Anything But 95 podcast?
What would I be looking for? Variation. I love listening to multiple topics. And again, every time you've got a different episode, you've got someone completely different.
Yeah.
But they're all leaders in their own right, and they're all hard workers in their own right. They're all successful in their own right. So what I find fascinating is that whether you're a rocket scientist or a farmer, no disrespect to farmers,
you get an insight.
At the bottom level, they've all got this work ethic or that's the same, or outlook that's the same, and they get up and carry out the same kind of routine every day, even though they're so different. And I find that fascinating. And I really, really, really get a lot out of that. I get a lot out of listening to people like that, and it spurs me on as well. So I'd love to to have variation, or listen to variation and loads of different topics and people, ages, races, jobs, whatever.
I think everybody's got a kind of unique perspective that they can offer other people. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things we'll definitely be looking to kind of explore.
Yeah.
But on that, so if anybody's in the Edinburgh area and they fancy a workout, fancy joining this kind of gym set and this gym style, how would they kind of make contact with you?
They can contact us via email, which is a really long email.
I'll put it in the description.
You'll put it in the description. So it's info@cave-fit-theedinburghgrand.com.
That's a lot of hyphens.
or if you struggle with things like that, like I do, then you can use info@cave-fit.com.
Right.
They'll both come through to us. And our phone number is 0131 230 0400.
Easy
I'm
to
pretty
remember.
impressed with myself that I remembered that. And you can contact us by walk-ins as well. Our new facility here that we're in at the moment is 42 St Andrews Square. So we're based in the vaults of the 5-star luxury apartment, the Edinburgh Grand.
I did feel like an imposter coming through the front door.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? It's such an amazing building. And at Waterfront, come in. Yeah. Yeah, come in. Yeah.
Just one of his many members coming in.
This is it. We've timed it to perfection. Cave-Fit Waterfront is based at Unit 5, West Shore Business Centre, with the same email and the same number.
Perfect.
Which is nice and easy.
Central contact source.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, I think that's all we have time for. So
We're getting thrown out.
Yeah. So Peter, thanks very much for your time. And you never know, we might kind of catch up again.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah. No,
Thanks.
thanks for having me on, mate. Really appreciate it.
Bye for now, everybody.